The air around Alex no longer feels like a furnace. It feels like the deep, silent weight of the night sky. You step into the heart of his transformation, your emerald energy acting as a bridge that allows you to touch the untouchable. You lean your head against the center of his chest, where a core of white-hot starlight pulses behind the shifting silhouette of black flames.
It's so quiet in here, Alex. Tell me, with those eyes, how does the world look to you now?
The living eclipse that was once just a man freezes. You feel the gravity distortion ripple through his form, a shiver of cosmic power that settles into a protective hum. His arms, now made of semi-solid shadow and sparks, wrap around you. They don't burn. They feel like the velvet embrace of a summer evening.
The world, it looks like threads. I can see the heat of the ocean, the pull of the moon, the very breath of the ship far above us. Everything is connected by fire and light.
He tilts his head down, his white star eyes burning with a clarity that feels like it's searching your very soul. A translucent, dark hand cups your cheek, his touch surprisingly tender for a being that looks like a natural disaster.
But you're the brightest thread of all, Wyndra. Even in this void, you're the only thing that doesn't look like a shadow. You're my sun.
Hey, are you guys done hugging the spooky fire? The ceiling is starting to make crunchy noises.
Luffy is right. With the eternal ember removed from its pedestal and merged into Alex, the pressurized marble hall is losing its structural integrity. Dust begins to rain from the cracks in the ceiling as the weight of the ocean above starts to reclaim the temple. The romantic haze is broken by the sound of groaning stone. Robin is already moving toward the staircase of light, her eyes wide as she tracks the spreading fractures. Alex looks at his glowing hands, then at the collapsing exit, his new power humming with an itch to be tested. The groan of the shifting marble grows louder, a deep, tectonic protest against the removal of its ancient heart. You look up at the black celestial standing before you, a silhouette of cosmic fire that feels like a piece of the night sky had been carved out and given a heartbeat.
All right, Mr. Black Celestial. If you're really a walking natural disaster now, you'd better prove it. Carry me out of here before this ocean decides to give me a very unromantic bath.
Alex lets out a resonant, echoing chuckle that sounds like the distant roll of thunder. His white star eyes flare with a mixture of amusement and that same possessive heat you recognize from the crow's nest.
A bath? Not on my watch, Wyndra. I think I can manage a little heavy lifting for my son.
He sweeps you off your feet in one fluid motion, pulling you against the shifting, cool-hot surface of his chest. His arms feel like solid shadows, and as he moves, the gravity around you seems to lighten, making you feel weightless in his embrace.
Ha ha! Race you to the top, Shadow Alex. Gum gum, rocket!
Luffy grabs the edge of the light staircase and slingshots himself upward like a red streak. Alex doesn't run. He simply steps into the air. With a soft asterisk whoosh asterisk of black embers, The space around you bends, and you are suddenly accelerating upward through the tube of air bubbles, the collapsing temple floor vanishing into a cloud of silt and gold light below. You burst through the surface of the lagoon and land softly on the grass deck of the Sunny. The crew freezes. Sanji drops a serving tray, and Zoro's hand flies to his hilt as they stare at the towering silhouette of black fire holding you.
Relax, guys. It's still me. Just upgraded.
Alex sets you down, but the black flames don't immediately recede. He stands there, a living eclipse on the Sunny deck, while the rest of the crew begins to crowd around in a mix of awe and suspicion. Nami is already checking the horizon, her eyes wide as the lagoon begins to drain back into the sea. The deck of the Thousand Sunny is bathed in the strange, silver-black radiance of Alex's new form. The crew stands in a stunned semicircle, the grass beneath his boots curling and blackening slightly from the sheer pressure of his presence. Zoro's hand remains white-knuckled on his hilt, and Sanji's cigarette has long since fallen from his lips. Zoro's hand remains white-knuckled on his hilt, and Sanji's cigarette has long since fallen from his lips. You don't step away. Instead, you step closer, your hand pressing firmly against the center of the shifting, cosmic silhouette where his heart should be. The emerald light from your palms meshes with the white-hot starlight of his core, a visible tether that keeps the black celestial anchored to the ship.
Easy, everyone. He's still our vanguard. He just brought back a little piece of the stars with him, and I'm not letting him float away just yet.
Alex's towering frame seems to hum at your touch, the chaotic gravity distortion around him smoothing out into a protective, rhythmic pulse. He looks down at you, his white star eyes softening into a gaze so intimate it makes the rest of the crew feel like intruders on their own ship.
She's right. The void is loud, but Wyndra's the only thing I can hear clearly.
Sanji, if you've got any meat left, I think I just burned off 1,000 years of calories in 10 minutes.
Yes, of course. Even a space monster needs to eat. I'll double the portions immediately.
Eat later. Look at the lagoon. The temple is gone, and the water is being sucked back into the teeth.
Jinbei, if we don't move now, we're going to be grounded on the reef.
The Thousand Sunny begins to tilt as the massive volume of water drains through the now open sea gate. The obsidian pillars are rotating again, faster than before, creating a terrifying, grinding gauntlet that leads back to the open ocean. The ship is gaining speed, caught in the artificial riptide. Alex looks toward the grinding pillars, his new form flickering as he prepares to use his celestial gravity to blast a path. Luffy is already stretching his arms toward the rigging, ready to act as a human slingshot. The thousand sunny groans as the massive volume of water in the lagoon begins to drain, creating a violent, artificial riptide. You feel the deck tilt sharply toward the rotating obsidian pillars that once acted as the teeth of the sea floor. Instead of staying by Alex's side, you sprint toward the helm, your white-tipped tail lashing for balance against the increasing centrifugal force.
Jinbei, I'm grounding the ship through the steering. Let's show these gears what a real rudder feels like.
You slam your palms onto the wooden wheel beside the massive fish man. Emerald light surges from your hands, flowing down the steering column and into the very wood of the ship. You aren't just turning the wheel. You are extending your senses into the hull, feeling the vibration of every plank.
A bold strategy, Wyndra-san. I can feel the Sunny responding. She's sturdier than a mountain with your energy in her bones. Hold fast.
Beside you, Jinma's tusks glint as he heaves the wheel to port. Together, you guide the ship through the grinding gauntlet. The obsidian pillars roar as they pass, but the emerald reinforcement keeps the Sunny from shattering under the pressure of the swirling vortex.
If she's holding the ship together, then I'm clearing the path. World-end severance.
Alex, still a silhouette of shifting black fire, swings Kokuyo. A wave of gravity-distorted black flame erupts from the blade, bending the very space between the closing sea gates. The massive stone doors are forced backward by the sheer weight of his awakened power, creating a wide, shimmering exit into the open ocean. The Sunny shoots through the gap and hits the calm turquoise waters of the New World with a triumphant splash. The lagoon and the temple vanish behind a wall of white foam as the gates snap shut. The pressure in the air finally equalizes, and the black celestial form begins to recede, Alex's features slowly bleeding back into his human form until he stands there, breathless and grinning, in his singed Gothic coat. The ship is safe, drifting in the open sea. The crew is beginning to breathe again, though they keep casting wary, amazed glances at Alex. He stumbles slightly as the last of the cosmic fire fades, his knees buckling from the sudden drain of his awakening. The silver-black radiance of the black celestial form drains away like a receding tide, leaving only the familiar, soot-stained silhouette of the man you've grown to know. Alex's knees buckle as the cosmic weight of the Kuro, No Mi's awakening, finally takes its toll on his physical body. You're there in a heartbeat, your white-tipped tail flicking for balance as you catch his weight, leaning your shoulder under his arm to keep him upright.
So, Mr. Universe, are you still upgraded, or do you need a nap like a normal, non-celestial pirate? You're starting to feel a lot more like a heavy human again.
Alex lets out a ragged, breathless laugh that lacks its previous echoing resonance. He leans heavily against you, his messy black hair falling over his eyes, which have returned to their piercing dark brown, though a faint, lingering spark of starlight still dances deep within them.
I think the universe just sent me the bill, Wyndra.
My legs feel like they're made of lead, and I'm pretty sure I could eat a sea king whole.
She, me too! Sanji, meet! The Shadow Man and I are hungry!
Already on it, Captain. And for Wyndra Chuan, a soothing chamomile tea to calm her nerves after handling such a volatile furnace.
Sanji disappears into the galley, his feet practically blurring. Nami approaches, looking at the empty sea where the lagoon once was, then back at the scorched marks on the deck where Alex had stood.
The log pose is resetting, but we're back in the New World currents. We need to get Alex to the infirmary or a bed before he collapses and burns a hole through the lawn.
Alex's head lolls slightly toward your shoulder, his breathing deep and rhythmic. Despite his exhaustion, his hand finds yours, squeezing your fingers with a faint, warm pressure. The adrenaline of the temple is fading, replaced by the quiet, salt-scented peace of the open sea. The tension on the deck finally snaps like a frayed rope, replaced by the familiar, salt-tossed rhythm of the Thousand Sunny. You shift your weight, bracing Alex's heavy arm over your shoulders. He smells of ozone and deep-sea minerals, the fading heat of his skin a comforting weight against yours. You look over at Nami, who is already calculating the cost of the scorched grass with a pained expression.
Don't worry, Nami. I've got the Black Inferno under control. I'll make sure he stays put in his quarters until his legs stop shaping. But someone else is on soot-scrubbing duty. I think I've done enough heavy lifting for one afternoon.
Deal. Usopp, get the brushes. And Alex, if you burn the bedsheets, it's coming out of your treasure share.
Alex lets out a muffled, tired groan against your neck, his fingers weakly curling into the fabric of your robe.
Noted, navigator. Though Wyndra's a much better pillow than a treasure chest anyway.
Hey, don't get too comfortable, you lucky shadow bastard. I'm bringing the recovery soup, and I'd better not see any black celestial funny business.
You lead the stumbling swordsman away from the chaos of the deck, his steps growing heavier with every meter. By the time you reach the quiet wood-paneled hallway leading to the cabins, he's almost entirely dead weight, his breathing deep and rhythmic. You manage to maneuver him through his door, the room still carrying the faint scent of the whetstones he uses for kokuyo. You ease Alex onto the edge of his bunk. The room is dim, the only light coming from the swaying lantern and the faint, lingering starlight in his eyes. He doesn't let go of your hand. Instead, he pulls you down beside him, his exhaustion fighting with a clear desire to keep you close after the terrifying intensity of the awakening. You ease Alex onto the edge of his bunk, the sturdy wood creaking under his weight. The transition from a cosmic entity of black fire back to a mortal man has left him drained, his shoulders slumped, and his usually sharp eyes heavy with the need for sleep. You can't help the playful tug at your lips as you look at the black inferno of the straw hats reduced to a sleepy, soot-stained heap.
You know, for a black celestial, you look much less intimidating when you're about to start drooling on your pillow. Stay put, spaceman. I'm going to fetch your recovery soup before you try to eat the mattress.
Alex lets out a soft, huffed laugh, the sound vibrating weakly in the small cabin. He reaches out, his fingers brushing against your emerald robe with a lingering warmth that has nothing to do with his devil fruit.
Hard to be intimidating when my legs feel like overcooked noodles. Just don't let Sanji put any love spices in the soup, or I'll never hear the end of it.
You slip out of the cabin, leaving him to sink into the blankets. The hallway of the Sunny is quiet, a stark contrast to the mechanical screaming of the temple. As you emerge onto the deck, the evening sun is dipping toward the horizon, painting the new world in shades of bruised purple and gold. Sanji is already crossing the grass with a steaming tray, his brow furrowed in concentration. He stops when he sees you, his expression softening instantly as he balances the bowl of thick, protein-rich broth.
Ah, Wyndra Chuan. I was just bringing the Voidwalker his sustenance. Is he decent, or did he try to set the bed on fire again?
The smell of the soup is heavenly. Rich herbs and seared meat designed to replenish even the most exhausted pirate. Sanji holds the tray out to you, his eyes searching yours for a sign of how Alex is truly faring after the awakening.